Tonight on The Local Live, Mamaroneck Cynthia Arce pleads guilty in the murder of her 2-year-old daughter. Elected officials call upon Verizon to renew its contract with the production company of Fios One News. Laura's Boutique and Bridal is the newest business on Mamaroneck Avenue. And on tonight's roundtable, learn about the Kiwanis car show rolling into town this Sunday. Good evening, it's Thursday, September 5th. I'm Sibylla Chipaziwa, and welcome to The Local Live. Cynthia Arce admitted to killing her 2-year-old daughter and stabbing 2 village police officers at her Mamaroneck home last April. She pled guilty earlier today in court. Sentencing will be on October 31st and will likely involve a prison term of 25 years to life. Stephen Boyd, the father of the child, filed a lawsuit in July against the County District Attorney's Office, Mamaroneck Village Police Department, and the Westchester County Child Protection Services, among others. He is seeking compensatory and punitive damages. In the days leading up to the tragedy, Boyd had obtained a family court order giving him temporary custody of his daughter, but the order was not enforced. Last night, Mamaroneck residents continued to express their concerns about the proposed commuter parking law at the town council meeting. The issues of limited car space and children's safety were amongst the topics brought to the council's attention. The board listened intently and provided an update on the legislation.
I've had a couple of experiences, including trying to get my 92-year-old mother out of my house and into a car. So from the time that I parked the car in front of my own house, walked in, turned around and got my mother out, I had a parking enforcement person there giving me a ticket. I mean, I have no other way of getting my 92-year-old mother into a car other than having to walk across the street, which made no sense. And recently, my daughter comes with her 2 kids, 2 babies. She unloading the kids, unloading the stroller, unloading her diaper bag, gets in the house, goes out to get her car, $25 ticket. There has to be a way to make it more pleasant to live here.
We will not move forward with the proposed law. We have heard from everyone. We have taken into the account everyone's comments. We have agreed with you that it does not seem wise to create this law and in such a wide fashion. We will continue with our regular process, Doug, that we have done for over 20 years, that if a specific street has a problem and they come to the town board, we will ask them to go to the traffic committee. We will ask the traffic committee for.
Also during last night's meeting, an update on the proposed reusable bag law was discussed amongst the town council and residents. The legislation states for retail establishments to make the shift to reusable bags. Town Supervisor Nancy Seligson says this initiative will benefit the overall health and safety of the town and the environment.
The town is proposing to move forward with this law now because we have been working on this law for a very, very long time, and we'd like to get it moving, and we'd like to help encourage people transfer to reusable bags. And we have 3,000 reusable bags that have been donated to the town. Some of them are really cute, too.
I would hope our county legislature and the county legislatures that represent our area could get together, and I would think an effort should be made to unify the law amongst the county and then let our law lapse and deal with it, because there's a nuance here, a nuance there, and you end up with a confusing patchwork. I like the law, love the law, more power to you, but it should be uniform.
Thanks. I just will reiterate what I said earlier, that the state has passed a law that will be statewide, and it's supposed to go into effect March of 2020. Our law will adhere to the state law, except for that, the remittance of the fee. So, no, the state law supersedes local laws. So there will be, once the state law goes into effect, there will be a uniform law.
On Saturday, Larchmont Manor beach lifeguards rescued an elderly man who was face down in the water and unresponsive, according to the Larchmont Loop. Beach personnel performed CPR, and an ambulance crew from Scarsdale continued CPR as they transported the man to Montefiore Hospital in New Rochelle. Larchmont Mayor Lorraine Walsh said the man survived the incident. The event occurred on the last weekend before the beach closed for the season. The Local Live received a letter from the U.S. Education Department's Office of Civil Rights regarding a complaint from a Homix parent. Details of an alleged racist incident at the middle school in December were laid out in the redacted letter provided by the Mamaroneck School District through a Freedom of Information Law request. The letter says the male student who had offended 3 female peers by using the N-word had received disciplinary action, and the girls were offered mediation following the incident. However, all 3 said the slur was not directed at any of them in particular. As reported last week and stated in a letter from the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Robert Shapps, the Office of Civil Rights found that the district had acted appropriately, swiftly, and thoroughly. Elected officials urged Verizon to keep local news coverage competitive and diverse by renewing its contract with RNN, which produces Fios One News. The current contract ends on November 14th, cutting 150 jobs. This comes in light of the cable company announcing on September 4th that it will be partnering with its rival, Altice USA, to provide local coverage by replacing Fios One News with News 12.
There's a little bit of an insinuation that the suburbs of New York City are sort of an afterthought to New York City. And for those of us who live and represent these communities, and for the national, broader political debate, so much is happening in the communities outside of New York City. This is where there is incredible activity, organizing, tremendous diversity, challenges in our schools, challenges in our communities, challenges in our cities and our towns and villages. This is a place that there should be an appetite for more coverage. We are a story worth telling. And unfortunately, with this decision, Verizon is limiting that story. And it is not about us. As the county executive said, we are not the story. The story is the individuals we represent, the communities we represent, and the challenges they face, which are losers in this decision.
And on tonight's roundtable, Mike Rich speaks with the Kiwanis Club of Mamaroneck, Harrison, and Rye, which is holding its 46th annual car show this Sunday at Harbor Island Park.
I'm sure.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to the Local Live Roundtable. You just saw a story about local news. Well, this is Mamaroneck and Larchmont local news. The best, because you get a chance to call in and ask your own questions. You can call us, you can send a tweet, you can email us. And tonight we're going to be talking about the antique car show and flea market happening this Sunday at Harbor Island Park, something you don't want to miss. And my guests tonight are Jack Saraceno, who is a member of the local Kiwanis Club, and he is accompanied by Jackie DiMaggio. Did I say that right?
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio.
Like the baseball player.
Who is a singer and a songwriter and, my notes say, better known as the Westchester Italian-American Idol. Now, you're going to have to tell us that story at some point about how you got that title. But first, Jack, you could tell us a little bit about what's coming up this Sunday, and as you talk, we're going to be seeing some pictures from last year's Kiwanis show, because LMC was there with their cameras and captured it all. And tell us about this year.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thanks for having us. LMC TV has been kind enough to present our show, and they've had a videographer there for the last, I would say, 10 years. Mm-hmm. This is going to be the 46th annual show that we're going to be doing this Sunday, and it's the Mamaroneck, Harrison, Rye, Kiwanis Club that's going to be presenting the show. We've been blessed by having Jackie sing for us for the past 2 years. This will be her 3rd performance here, and she'll be singing at noon. Mm-hmm. We're going to have some local politicians there. George Latimer has promised that he's going to come. Tom Murphy will be there. Norman Rosenblum will be there. Mm-hmm. And we expect a very large audience. We're hoping to have between 250 and 350 cars. We have two pastors who are going to be blessing the cars at 12 o'clock. And from there will be Jackie come on singing, and then we'll show the cars, and it's going to be a fun day.
Now, the fun is not listening to the politicians.
The fun is listening to
fun is
Jackie and looking at the cars.
Yes, and Jackie. So these cars, are they all antique cars?
Most of the cars, you have a lot of modern cars that are coming to the shows now, but the car, it's a classic car show. So we try to lean towards the cars that were from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. The cars that were, the muscle cars were from the 60s, which is the cars that I love. But we'll have all classes of cars, and naturally everybody wants to go home with a trophy, and the disappointment is we can't give everyone a trophy. But in my opinion, what I hope that our judges will do, will give the awards to the people who put their heart and soul into some of these cars.
Now, what does that mean, like putting your heart and soul into it? You keep
Taking
it
years
highly
to build these
polished?
cars.
Okay.
Taking years to build these cars. They start with what looks like junk to you and I, and they'll build it from there. They'll put fenders, they'll put a motor, they'll put an interior, they'll spend thousands and thousands of dollars. Some of these restorations run to the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I have a friend named Mario who's got a Buick that he invested $300,000 in, and he just loves the car, and this is their passion.
Jackie, what do you know about cars? You ride in one?
I do. I don't know too much about cars, but I am one of the local car show singer, so I know a little bit, but not too much. I love looking at all the cars. My son is absolutely in love with cars.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to know more than I know.
So when you go to these car shows and you look at a car, how does the average person know what's gone into the car? Is the owner of the car next to the car explaining things?
The owner stays with the cars. Okay. Most of these men who put so much time and effort into their cars don't want anyone to go near the car because it's more important to them than their own children in a lot of cases. And Jackie will agree with me.
So we can't sit in the driver's seat and like pretend to drive.
A lot of people will have stickers. You know,
Do
look but do not touch.
Okay.
Please do not touch.
Okay.
You know, or they'll put a sticker on that says, do not touch unless you're nude or something like that.
Really?
And one thing I want to mention.
Can't kick the tires.
No, you cannot kick the tires. We're honored to have Jackie, and I've named Jackie the Classic Car and Cruise Queen because she presents at some of these shows. She's representing a car club that's called Moonlight Cruises, and that club is held by a guy named Basil Campy, and he runs a couple of shows. And Basil and a DJ by the name of Bobby James do cruise nights, 2 nights a month in Scarsdale, and he's going to have a show on October 27th at Ursuline where Jackie will be performing that day.
Very nice.
So put that on your calendars, October 27th.
October 27th
But
at
make sure
Ursuline.
you make this Sunday. We want you there this Sunday to see the cars and flea market.
So tell me what you're going to be singing on Sunday. Do you open the show?
I am going to be singing God Bless America.
Okay.
That's first and foremost. I always either start off with God Bless America or the national anthem because we have to pay respects for all the women and men that are fighting for our country. And we have to remember those who, can't be there at the car show on Sunday to celebrate with us.
I know that, Jack, you told me earlier there'll be a moment of silence.
I would like, after Jackie sings, that we have a moment of silence in remembrance of September 11th, 2001.
Yeah.
And maybe we can ask Jackie to give us a little tease to entice the people to come this Sunday. Maybe she'll give a little a cappella.
How about a little? Yes, our band is off tonight. I'm sorry to say. But if
That's
you're,
okay.
The
I'm
Bobby
used to
James
doing
Orchestra
acapella.
can't be here tonight.
Yeah, that's right. My Bobby James.
Can you give us a couple lines?
Sure. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's all I'm giving.
On Sunday.
That's all I'm
You'll
giving,
hear
guys.
the rest of that beautiful rendition
Yes.
of God Bless America
come
by
and see me.
Jackie.
Yes.
And she'll do a number of other songs for us.
Absolutely.
So we're really looking forward
Well,
to her.
we've got actually on the coffee table here, we've got a couple CDs that Jackie has out. Will they be available at the show for
Absolutely.
people who want to buy some of them?
Yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
there are
Great.
a few more that I did not bring tonight. There's a Christmas CD, and then there's an original CD of mine with all of my original songs that I wrote on it. And Yeah, so come by, stop by, and
Now
stop by my table and meet me.
You wrote an original song called Just Believe.
Correct.
And you were inspired to do that because of two little girls who were sick. Do you want to tell us the story about that?
Yes, I was actually, I met this man from a radio station, and he told me about the two little girls. And just recently, before I met him, my mother actually was really sick. She went through a really terrible near-death experience. So I think the song really came from the depth of me, from going through what I went through with my mother and seeing her almost not making it through what she made it through. So it was really inspired by that, but I wrote the song after meeting the two little girls, and for the first 6 months, we put it on iTunes and CD Baby, and we donated all of the proceeds, went to them. But the song is just a really encouraging, special song, hence the title, Just Believe, that, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always some faith that you have to have when you go through hard times in life, and everybody goes through their own hard times. So if you'd like to purchase it, go on iTunes and CD Baby and purchase it. It's a great song to listen to, and I will probably be performing it at the show.
Okay.
So
well, we won't ask you to sing a little tonight. We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll continue talking about the Kiwanis and also some of the local organizations that Kiwanis works with right here in Mamaroneck and Larchmont. Stay tuned.
Do you need space for a meeting, conference, or presentation? LMC TV has what you need. Our 768 square foot studio space is ideal for many types of productions, readings, recitals, rehearsals, and workshops. The space has video recording capability, as well as daylight temperature lighting, green screen, and stage. 2 additional rooms at 208 and 156 square feet can be used for any of your needs. Auditions, meetings, classes, workshops, one-on-one instructions, and more. Both rooms feature video monitors with Chromecasting capability, making presentations a breeze. To reserve one or more of our spaces,
contact us at reserve@lmctv.org.
Welcome back. We're talking about the Kiwanis Antique Car Show and Flea Market happening this Sunday. And my guests are Jack Saraceno and Jackie DiMaggio. And Jackie, you were talking about singing, and you gave us a little taste of God Bless America.
Yes, I did.
Which was lovely. And I wanted to ask you, Jack, about any particular cars or owners that you're looking forward to seeing this Sunday.
The car enthusiast hobby is one that these gentlemen, from the beginning of spring till the beginning of the fall, go out to car cruise nights every night of the week. There's a cruise night someplace every single night. And these gentlemen, they show off their cars, they bring them to these cruise nights. I would be remiss not to mention a couple of car clubs that are going to join us for the car show. We're honored to have the Shift Masters, who are going to be doing the judging for the show, and that's Jim Levecki, and the president of the club is Frankie T. Bird, and they'll be there on Sunday with us. And we also have to mention the Rock and Rods, who has a car show every Wednesday at Murray's Skating Rink over on Tuckahoe Road in Yonkers, and that's Barry and Bobby Bounce, who's the DJ there. So they have about 70 or 80 cars, up to 100 cars on a Wednesday night there. Every Saturday night, they go up to a place up in Thornwood called Rose Hill Shopping Center, and that's run by the local fire department, and there are 200 cars there. You have to get there early enough to get a spot. Let's go back to Jackie, and I know she doesn't want to pat herself on the back, but we're so honored to have her this Sunday. She sang in Atlantic City at resorts. She sang at the Borgata. She's also been at the Golden Nugget. She's going to be doing a show on October the 27th at Stepanak. She's going to be singing. The Duprees were going to be there, and Jackie Wilson's son is also going to be singing on the bill with Jackie DiMaggio. And that show is going to be on December 14th in Stepanak High School. And again, we've got a little tease from Jackie earlier tonight. I just hope everybody comes out on Sunday to listen to the rest of her performance. She's an amazing performer, and it's going to be great to have her.
Thanks.
And we're going to have a flea market there as well.
I'm honored to be on your show.
Thank you so
every
much
year.
for coming.
The flea market is for whom? Who can be there?
It costs about $40. Anybody can come with any of their goods, what they'd like to sell. You'd probably be better off gearing it towards the car market, but I've seen people selling all sorts of tchotchkes there, and we used to have a much bigger flea market. It's really been pared down, but it's only $40 for a booth, and it all goes to a good cause. The Kiwanis is all about children. All the money that we are able to accumulate from the show goes right back into the community.
And this is your only fundraiser.
The only
for the
fundraiser
year.
all year.
Right. What are some of the organizations? I know LMC is one that you help support.
Yes.
What other organizations?
Well,
in
what we
town?
do is we hold a dinner in the spring for the children who are graduating, and we ask them to write an essay saying why they deserve a scholarship, and we give 5 or 6 scholarships out from the money that we required. We also give out helmets for the kids, for bicycle helmets, to protect them so they wouldn't have any accidents. And all the money goes back into the community. Again, let me mention the 2 people that are the driving force in this organization, Jimmy Lanza from Lanza Electric and Vince Marconi from Tri-City Auto Parts. They're the 2 gentlemen who run this whole show. And Jimmy Lanza's son, James, is the president of the organization now of the Kiwanis.
And who can join the Kiwanis?
Anyone. We have women in the club as well as men. Tony Accavelli, who's our village engineer. He takes care of the highways and everything in the village. He's one of the members of our club. We have many members in the club.
And you have a meeting once a month?
We have a meeting twice a month.
Twice a month.
Twice
and
a
it's
month.
at the restaurant 25
They
North?
sometimes at 25 North, and they've been known to sometimes patronize Phil at Pizza Gourmet. So, they'll bounce around. They try to pass it around through the community.
So it's an organization that is focused on children. There's also a certain degree of socialness going on.
Exactly. It's a fraternal organization, and it's a community organization. And we're going to have, like I said, we're going to have a couple of the politicians there to represent us on Sunday, as well as 2 pastors who are going to bless the cars. So it's going to be a full event with the entertainment. So
is there an admission charge for people who want to come to the show?
There's an admission charge. It's all going to charity.
Right.
So the cost of getting in is going to go right back into the community. And the cars, the charge for the cars that comes in all goes to cover the show. Unfortunately, last year we were rained out. So we had a
you
very
were rained
poor
out.
showing.
You had the show.
We had the show.
Not with a
But
few
we-
sprinkles on the hoods of the cars.
We were
singing in the
I
rain.
saw the video, yeah.
And we sang in the rain, and it was
Yeah.
unfortunate that God decided to cry on us. So this year we're hoping for a lovely day, and hopefully this storm that's coming up from the south doesn't bother us on Sunday, and we have a great show. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's good. You've been to the car shows before, Jackie?
Yes.
What do you like about them?
I just like that it's a really nice, it's like a family event almost. You see a lot of families walking around, viewing the cars.
Now, this
and
is in the park, so
Yeah.
Yes, it's
somebody
going to be
wants
right on the field.
If the family wants to pack a picnic lunch,
Right.
They can do
certainly
that very
Absolutely.
easily.
Sit outside.
It's just, you know, it's on a Sunday, so pretty much everyone's off, and you just see a lot of nice, you know, families and children walking around, and you know, it
Kids
brings
like cars.
it brings a lot of interest. I mean, people, you know,
Men like cars.
right? Well,
Men like cars.
well, men like cars.
And women like cars
Women
also.
like cars also.
Right, women like cars also. But it's in their blood. It burns,
Yes,
it burns
absolutely.
gasoline. But just to explain to you, since you're not familiar with car shows, there are certain organizations. There's a group called the Latin Cruisers who did a show a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday, and it was all family oriented. All the families were there, and the men build the cars with their children, and their wives are involved.
It's special.
And it's a beautiful family event. It's really
My
very
son will
special.
definitely be, when he's a little bit older, he'll be joining the Kiwanis Club, I'm sure.
Jackie's son is a very patriotic young man
Yes.
who stands with his hand over his heart when Mommy sings the national anthem.
He's only 4.
And he loves to look at the cars, and he sits in all the cars, and he gets away with it. At 4 years old, everybody
Because
parks
he's so
under the seat.
cute, you know.
Everybody loves little Mikey,
Exactly.
and he's adorable, and everybody lets him sit in their car.
So those who go on Sunday will be able to spot you. I mean,
Absolutely, just look for the hat.
And you're in the retiree
Attire,
outfit, right?
attire.
Right.
But everyone knows that they
Jack
follow the
with the
car with the
hat.
hat. Jack
follow
with
the hat. And if they want to be on camera,
come see me,
Right.
and we'll get you on camera, and we'll interview you. I could tell you a very interesting story. A very
we
dear
just
friend
got to
of mine.
wrap up, so let's do
Okay.
it quickly.
Quickly, there was a car at a car show. My friend saw it. He says, it looks very much like the car that I owned 50 years ago. He picked up the hood, and there was a chip on the fender that he remembered being there. And when
No
talking to the
kidding.
man, he said, your name was on the registration when I got this car. 40 years later,
gosh.
he reacquainted himself with the car that
Wow,
he
what
had
a
40 years prior.
coincidence.
Wow.
That's great.
And we both said, these cars will outlive us.
Yeah. So a wonderful show on Sunday. It's the 46th annual Kiwanis
Please come. Please
show.
come by and say hello.
It's a
Mike and I will
fundraiser.
be
It's the
there.
only fundraiser they're going to have this year, and all their money goes to good
We need your
causes.
support.
Absolutely.
Well,
Thank
you
you so
certainly
much.
have the LMC TV support.
Thank you very much.
And you have Jackie's lovely voice to accompany
Thank
the
you.
cars and the awarding. And you've got another musical group coming, don't you? when
Yes, we have a
Jackie's
fellow
not
by the
singing?
name of Tony Ceruzzi who's going to be singing at 1 o'clock. And he'll be
Okay.
singing some oldies from the 60s.
So there's cars and entertainment, and you can pack a picnic lunch.
Absolutely.
Or you can go
And
to
it's
any one of a number of
And you
restaurants.
can walk down to the water. The harbor's right there. It's just beautiful. It's going
Yes.
to be a beautiful event. And the scenery for pictures is just amazing.
Well, thank you both for coming.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for having us.
And thank you for watching. And there's more Local Live coming up, so don't go away. Stay tuned.
I went through years of guilt, thinking that I must have done something to deserve that.
I knew if I told someone, they would say it's my fault.
I thought I was going to die without ever having spoken about the abuse that happened to me.
When you've been sexually abused as a child, it can take years or even decades to process what happened.
That's why we changed the law and passed the Child Victims Act.
The Child Victims Act means that survivors have more time to bring our abusers
And the institutions that may have protected them.
To justice in the courts.
I was in my 40s before I could even tell someone what happened, let alone think about going to the police or to a lawyer. When I finally did, it was too late because of New York's strict statute of limitations.
Survivors can now file a criminal claim up to age 28 years old.
And up to age 55 years old for a civil claim.
And starting on August 14th,
for only 1 year.
Survivors who were previously told that we were too old or that it was too late to file a civil lawsuit
Will now be able to do exactly that.
No matter how long ago the abuse happened.
anyone can do it.
anyone.
Anyone.
Every survivor has the right to pursue justice in the courts
if that's what's right for you.
Find out more about the Child Victims Act by going to safehorizon.org.
Even if it's just to talk to someone, because that's what I did.
But remember, whatever you decide to do,
It's up to you.
And you're not alone.
because now
it's our choice.
It's our choice. It's our choice.
On Labor Day, Laura Rudovic held the grand opening of her boutique and bridal business right on the avenue in Mamaroneck. In the spotlight this week, Stephanie Yang and I paid a visit to the MHS alumna storefront and even bumped into a couple of celebs who were a huge fan of Laura's custom designs and customer service.
Hey future brides, if you're looking for the perfect wedding dress or evening gown, we got just the place for you. We're at Laura's Boutique and Bridal's grand opening in Mamaroneck, and we got a chance to talk to some very special guests. So today's your grand opening. How do you feel about it?
I'm very excited, actually. Nervous and excited. Well, all my items, 90% of them are my custom designs. So they're one-of-a-kinders that I've designed that you can't find anywhere else. Then the other items that I have, the 10% are Giovanni Couture gowns because I love his line. So I've been designing since 2013 and I have my own collection. I'm actually originally from here. When I first came from Europe, I lived in Mamaroneck. I went to Mamaroneck High School, so there's nothing more special to me than coming back to where I'm from. My husband's also from here. Actually, the harbor in Mamaroneck is named after his great-grandpa, so it's just amazing.
So hi, I'm with Florinda, Miss New York 2019. What do you think about today's event?
So it's so glamorous in here. It's really nice. We had a big shipment of dresses, and she even does custom-made gowns. So I'm so excited to be here and work with her in the future. Laura has been a supporter of mine since before I ever won Miss New York. I've been competing for the past 4 years, and she's always been there by my back. And it's just so exciting that she's finally able to help me out now.
Do you have a message for future brides that want to come here?
Future brides, well, I'm newly engaged and I haven't looked at any dresses or anything like that. So honestly, all I've heard from my friends is just to find something that you're comfortable in, because that's your big day and you want to look pretty and glamorous, but you want to enjoy it at the same time. So find something beautiful but comfortable.
Today's event is amazing. I love her designs. I did not know that the only thing Laura carries here is Giovanni, but these are all her designs, that she's made them all. I'm so proud of her. I can't sew a hem. What is this? To be able to do this, it's just, to open a store, it's scary. It's scary to open up a business, but she has my full support, and I'm really proud of her because this is amazing. Listen, come to the store, an amazing array of dresses. There's a girl here who had her dress made. It's beautiful. So I wish them all the best, and you may see me here once or twice or 10 times.
For more information, you can visit laurasboutiqueny.com. I'm Stephanie Yang reporting for the Local Live.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an engineer at IBM. I work within our Watson Internet of Things division, and I'm also an inventor.
Wow, that's really cool.
The fun part for me of inventing is just learning new technologies, creating ideas and problems.
And here's what's happening around town. Talking Technophobia in Film with Kevin Backnut is back this Friday, September 6th at 7 p.m. right here in the LMC-TV studio. This month's film is 1984, based on George Orwell's classic novel. Learn more and sign up for the class as space is limited. Also this weekend, enjoy some lunch with a cop. The Village of Larchmont PBA and Villa Maria Restaurant are hosting the Pizza with a Police Officer event. Stop by for a chat at 1 p.m. on September 8th at the pizzeria located on Chatsworth Avenue. Join New York State Senator Shelley Mayer and State Assemblyman Steve Otis at the Larchmont Mamaroneck Local Summit. The event is on Tuesday, September 10th at the Nautilus Diner in Mamaroneck. The two officials will be discussing recent legislative accomplishments in New York State and more. This all begins at 7:45 a.m. The Tri-Municipal Annual September 11th Memorial Ceremony will be held next Wednesday. This is an opportunity for the community to gather in a cooperative spirit of support and remembrance. The event will be held at Girl Scout Rock in Memorial Park starting at 5 p.m. And bring your tent, sleeping bags, snacks, and more to the 16th annual Family Campout event, Saturday, September 14th into Sunday, September 15th. The Village of Mamaroneck Recreation Department has also partnered up with LMC TV to show the final movies on the sand screening of The Incredibles 2 at dusk on the 14th. Check-in for the campout is at 5 p.m. and there will be field games, activities, and more. Be sure to register online ASAP.
LMC Cast.
The whole system is fine. All right, cool. You want it? Well, I definitely would recommend doing podcasts if you are someone that likes to get something off the chest, or you want to just talk about anything in the world that just might interest you. Podcast here at LMC TV is amazing.
I hope you're listening out there.
This week in sports, with the fall season finally underway, the Rhinebeck girls soccer team hosted Pauling in both teams' opening game. It was the Panthers who struck first, off the head of Anna Murphy in the LMC Varsity Sports Player of the Week.
Ryan, Bronx won a lot of schools. As that one is headed in. Nice play off the corner kick as it is headed by Anna Murphy. And the jersey change from 5 to 10 paying off, and scores 9 minutes and 12 seconds into the game.
Found a bullet in the woman's body. It's one of ours.
Someone in this department is playing us.
I've got a pretty good idea who.
Okay, in the past few months, there have been a lot of unexplainable deaths.
They're on to us. We need to step up our game. They're going to find out that I'm Abigail Daniels.
What if, wait a minute, Daniels, Daniela? I think that Daniela is Abigail.
What are you doing here? I got the call also.
It wouldn't be because you killed him.
I'm starting not to trust the chief either.
Me neither.
Do you have a news tip? Seen anything interesting around town? Is there breaking news in your community? Send your videos, comments, pictures, and tips to the Local Live, your news source of Larchmont and Mamaroneck.
Remember, if you missed Thursday's live broadcast, you can catch replays of the Local Live twice a day on this channel and find story clips on our YouTube channel. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook to stay up to date on things you may have missed. Thank you for watching the Local Live. I'm Sibylla Chipaziwa. Just wanted to quickly say congratulations to Stephanie Yang on your engagement. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Have a good night.
If you are interested in sponsoring this or other programs on LMC TV, contact us for more information.